Good morning. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay. Well, not see us, obviously, but you can see my paper at least. Welcome to this morning's draw along, where this is the one that I've both been excited about. We're going to be drawing this gorgeous, glorious humpback wow. I'm going to be trying something slightly different today with the watercolour pencils. So if you have got watercolour pencils or watercolour paints, feel free to bring them and join in with what technique I'm going to show you. Something slightly different to what we normally do. But yes, humpback whale, I've been looking forward to this all term. This is my favourite image. I just think it's just so majestic and amazing looking. And that's without even really having a sense of just how enormous this creature is. Hi Melissa, hi Emily, Freya and Jill. Awesome, so you can hear me, that's good. We'll get started, shall we? I'm going to be drawing landscape, and I am just using blues, greys, and of course the black. Standard HB pencil, got my putty rubber, and as well as my normal thinner brushes, I'm using a much thicker brush today as well. So what I want to do is draw the outline of the whale first. I'm then going to paint the background, and then I'm going to shade in the whale and then use the water on the whale. So this is the first time I've done it this way round either. So if it goes wrong, you know, be kind, because I'm making it up as I go along, like I normally do, to be fair, because there's no right or wrong with artwork. It's about us exploring and having fun with it and working out what works for us. Hi, Steph. Hi, Joe. So cool. Let's get started. So like I say, I'm working landscape, but the actual image that we're working with is quite square in shape. So you just want to make sure, and I say this, I need to make sure that I get everything on it. So I want to make sure those gorgeous front flippers feature in, because they're quite, they come down quite a way of the, in terms of the space that we're utilising, they take up that half the page, really. So I'm going to just sketch that in lightly, that first front flipper that we can see. I'll worry about getting the shapes and the details on in a bit. I just want to make sure I'm happy, first of all, with how everything fits on the page before I do anything else. Because as you know, if you've been following us for a little while, I have had a bad habit of not fitting everything on and cropping out quite important features of the creature. So I want to make sure that I get in what I want to get in. So we've got a really interesting perspective as well in terms of the way this photo has been taken. So though we know that this whale has a really long body, we can only really see his face and his tail in the background. So he's almost face, it's like he was coming towards the photographer and then he's turned his head. So that's kind of distorted what we can see, but it does give us this beautiful insight into and the details on his face, and most importantly, I think his eye as well. Hi Tom, and hi Joseph as well. Oh, we're all here today. Nice. So like I said, this might take a little bit of adjusting because it is a weird perspective. So already I can see I've done that next fin. It's come down too far. Stumbling over my words today. So I'll adjust that. Am I happy with that? Might be a bit longer there. And maybe that needs to be a bit further out. I might move the towel over as well. So this is just really playing around with the lines on the paper, just getting that the rough shapes in. So, you know, almost like a triangular shape for the towel fin there. Is Michael here? Yes, he is. He's busy scribbling next to me. Do you say hi, Michael?
Hello.
Was you looking forward to this one, Michael?
Sort of.
It was the turtle that you most wanted to do.
Yeah.
So remember, spending a bit of time on this first stage saves us a little bit of grief later on, doesn't it? When we go, oh no, I've run out of room, or that didn't look quite right. So I'm fairly pleased with the form as it started. So now I'm going to go in and put in some of these more these details. So if we look at his fins, he's got these, it's all lumpy bumpy, it's not smooth. And then obviously around his mouth, we've got a similar sort of texture going on. So I want to put those in first. Then I'm going to put these lines in, and then I'm going to focus on his eye. Fun fact from Joe, there are over 80 species of wow. I didn't realise it was that many. Wow. And we're doing the humpback wow today. That's what we're drawing, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a humpback wow. These little nodules almost look like fingers, don't they? Pip, what's your favourite species of wow? Mine's the baleen. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. We're gonna have to Google that one. Well, I always thought naively that orcas were a type of wow. I thought they were killer whales, but as we discovered a couple of weeks ago, they're dolphins. So I don't know. I mean, I was drawn to this image, so part of me thinks maybe humpbacks are my favourite. And I know they get attacked by killer whales, don't they? But and they tend to just eat their tongues. So I feel for the humpback whales. I just think they're all just something almost mystical about them, something magical. There's just like an ancientness about them, isn't there? They were on this planet long before us, and hopefully they'll be around for a lot longer still. But obviously, like everything else in our world, we've got to look after it, and the oceans in particular. Dolphins and whales are from the group known as cetaceans. I hope I said that right. Thank you, Joe. Joe's going to be our encyclopedia today. I've had a bit of a chaotic start to the morning, so wasn't able to quite get there with the facts, but Joe is on it. Did that a bit too low. Do that bit. I'm going quiet today because I really love this image, so I really want this to be as good as I can do today. So I've got my concentration face on. Does Michael play Roblox?
No.
No. You play Minecraft, don't you?
Yeah, and lots of other games.
What's your favourite at the moment, Michael?
Probably Minecraft Dungeons.
Minecraft Dungeons. I know I said I'll do the mouth first, but I'm now jumping to the eye, make sure I get that in the right place. Yep. Then go back to his little noduley bits on his mouth. Wonder what they are.
What?
The big lumps on his.
They're normally like shells.
I don't think those are though. I know what you mean because they would be massive shells if you consider the size of a humpback. What are they? I wonder if we can find out. Humpbacks belong to the baleen whales. They filter their food, shrimp, krill, other small fish. So what looks like a big brush in their mouths captures all that food, and they need to eat a lot. Oh, Joe's already on it. They are called tubercles. The little noduley bits that I'm drawing at the moment. What are they for? Have they got a purpose? What do they do? What are they? Definitely making it more interesting in terms of adding some texture. They are hair follicles. Why word? You would not have thought that a whale has hair follicles. That is just blown my mind. Cool. So I'm going to jump to just smartening the tail up, and then I'm going to go to the background. And the reason for that is because I need the water to dry whilst we're working on it. So I want to give that as much time as possible. Oh, a bit of a wonky line. How are you getting on, Michael?
Good.
Obviously, it's a bit distorted, the tail, because you've got that splash. He's obviously come up and made a bit of a splash with his tail. So I'm going to have to sort of guess that form a little bit. So with my watercolour pencil, so if you've got normal watercolour paints, obviously you'll just apply this using the paint. But what I want to do is around the whale, I'm wetting the paper with my big thick paintbrush. And then I'm going to soak up some of the blue from the pencil and then put that on where the water is. And hopefully, because the paper's wet, you don't end up with really definite lines, because it just carries on blending out into the water where you placed it on the paper. So I probably won't have time to make this a really vivid blue. But if you've got time, you could just keep building this up to get a much more vivid background colour. Put some of the lighter blue in as well. Oh, some hairs have come out of the paintbrush because it's the first time I've used it. No! Get off. Okay. Now the reason I'm not drawing onto the paper with the pencil is because it will leave a harsh pencil line, and I just want, even if I try and blend it out, it won't be as soft as the effect I'm getting with doing it this way, which is why I'm using the brush to soak up the paint and then popping it on the page. So just focus on one section at a time if you're doing this, because obviously the water will dry. And then I'm sort of going to go a bit darker towards the whale, so it's like he's got a frame around him almost. And then I'll do this section here. I'm going to just rub out some more pencil lines, because obviously once I put the paint on, it's a bit difficult to do that. So make the paper wet and then put the colour on. Oh no, that wasn't the plan. Be careful of that happening, dripping on to your page. I can hear Michael's using pens. I haven't looked at his yet, but he's obviously going for a completely different technique.
Yeah.
Because there's no right or wrong when we do our paintings or drawings. Is anybody else trying this technique? It's probably not showing too well on the camera, but it's quite blue with me. But yeah, that's the idea. Wonder what will happen if I just put a little bit. Let's see if we can blend it at all. This is exactly what I said not to do, but we'll see. There we go, we get a bit more colour. So just gently with the pencil once you've wet the lead, because otherwise it might be a little bit too harsh. And you use a smaller brush to sort of blend it out, so that hopefully you don't see the pencil strokes. And it frames the whale nicely. And the next bit, the bit that I accidentally started. So again, just clean water. It looks amazing. Is that yours, Mel? Yours looks amazing. I hope so. Hope you feel happy with it. Fun fact from Joe, they grow up to 12 to 19 metres long, and the females are bigger than the males. So if you imagine the length of a doorway is 2 metres, then it's at least 6 of those is how big a humpback whale can be as a minimum. So pretty impressive, I'd say. I'm going to get a drip on it. There we go. Yours does. Oh, thank you, Mel. That's really kind of you. See, sometimes it's good to try something new. And this technique is not something I've done before, but I'm liking how it's starting. Michael's just furiously cut. Can you hear that? It's like furiously colouring in the background. And once again, I'm going to make sure that pencil is wet and then try and make it more bold, create a nicer frame with the smaller paintbrush blending it out. I barely touched the paper with the pencil, then it was really, really soft. I think if it any harder, and it'll be very difficult to get rid of the pencil lines, which actually you can still see them a bit on mine. Belle's going for a more realistic cartoon style, but I really like this style. I use it a lot. Nice. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that then. Looks like we've got another fun fact come in. Humpback. Oh no, from Tim. Tom. Well done, Tom. I knew you'd be on it. Humpback whales in the southern hemisphere live off their fat reserve for 5.5 to 7.5 months each year. So they fast for that long, as they migrate from their tropical breeding grounds to the Antarctic to feed on krill. They don't eat for most of the year, yet they're that size. I wonder if that's one of the reasons they move so slowly in the water, or they probably don't, in terms of they're still traveling quite a distance because of their size, but in terms of their movements aren't very fast like an orca, for example. They seem very slow and purposeful, and I wonder if that is to save energy. If they're unable to eat for half of the year, they need to rely on what they've got in their reserves, don't they? Not use it all up. Oh, Michael, can you close that door, please, darling?
Yeah.
We've got work going on in the house. You might be able to hear background noise.
I nearly done my background.
Nice. I like it. Oh, I've had a sneak peek at Michael's. I'll show you when he's finished his background. So he's gone for a completely different technique. Again, with that pencil, with your brush. Last little bit now for me. Wetting the brush, wetting the paper. Mel wants to see yours.
Yeah. Done.
Done your background? Right, I nearly finished mine, so I'll show yours in a second. I've switched to a slightly smaller brush to try and get some more colour on off of the pencil, and that seems to be working better. So try that if you're struggling to get much colour on your page. The young calves don't stop growing until they're 10 years old. Wow. Unlike a lot of animals in the animal kingdom, they mature quite quickly, don't they? But obviously not with humpbacks. Take 10 years to get to full size. Pip, do I crochet? I have done in the past. I'm not very good at it. I can only do like the standard. I basically made a couple of blankets. One for Michael when I was pregnant with him.
When I was young.
No, you weren't even born. I made it whilst I was pregnant, and then I did the same for his little brother. It's a good skill to have, though, if you know how to do it now. You're doing a top. Well, that's far more skilled than me. So Michael's one with his background. He's gone for different shades of blue and has used his coloured pens. So really vibrant colours, much more vibrant than mine. And your line drawing's looking amazing, Michael. Really good. Well done.
I quite like it how it's been shaped, like the colouring.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It's made it. It's very clear. It's water, isn't it? It's through the form as well as the colour. So now I'm going to go in, and I think I'll start with his eye. We've got just about 25 minutes, I reckon I can get this done. Bear in mind, normally we are just focusing on the animal, aren't we? So we've got to work quite quickly here in order to be able to get this done in time. Where's my darkest grey?
My darkest grey is a grey.
So yeah, we're going to have to move with purpose now to try and get this done. Obviously, we don't want to rush it and ruin it, but I'm going to put my colour down as quickly as I can. Leaving white space as well where the light grey markings are. Another fact coming in from Joe: humpback whales are one of the 10 oldest species of whale on the earth. They have been around a long time. It's thought they were evolved some 40 million years before humans. Yeah, I can well believe that. There's something very prehistoric about them, isn't there? And Tom, fun fact, humpback whales have very strong perception, awareness, and communication abilities, and can even show emotion. Yeah, I think like I think this is why I'm drawn to whales and dolphins. I feel like, I don't know, there's definitely something else about them. It just makes them really special. A bit like elephants. I feel that with elephants as well. Maybe it's something to do with the fact they've been around for so long. I'm really placing as much of the grey down as I can, and then I'll go back in with some darker tones as well, I think. There's almost a bluey colour in that other fin, so I'm going to add some blue, like grey blue tone to that. You'll be careful, because if you have used water, then obviously, like right now, my hand, I can't touch that top part of my page because it's still drying.
I don't.
No, Michael doesn't, because he used pen. Again, there's a blue undertone underneath his mouth as well, so I'm just going to add in a bit of blue there. And then I'm going to focus on some of these hair follicles now that we know what they are. Oops, wrong grey. I'm going to start with a grey base and then build it up with black as well. There's lots of noise in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's a bit me off, so I don't know about everyone else. Lots of banging. And finally that tail. Much darker on this side. Well, on both the sides, then lighter in the middle, probably again because of those bubbles. So now I'm going to go in with my black and darken tones up where I think it needs it. How are we doing for time? 1:30. Oh, we caught up quite well considering.
I think I'm just going to go along with mine.
Just make it up as you go along. Yeah. Got to trust your instinct with it.
I'm just getting bored of this grey.
You're going to add some different colours?
Yeah.
What about some sort of blues in there?
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Because definitely under the belly I can see blue. So you've got completely free reign because it's your artwork. So there isn't, like I say all the time, there isn't a right way or wrong way of doing things. You can do it your way. It's still going to be a piece of art at the end of it. Ah, Melissa's, mine's pink. Nice. Another fun fact from Joe, a male humpback whale can sing for hours.
I can't.
We
I could probably sing for at least 5 minutes. And that's it.
should have had some whale music playing in the background. That would drown out the building works then as well, wouldn't it?
I can put wild music on.
Go on then. I'm finding some whale song is what you want.
Yeah. Lets me click.
No luck, Michael.
No, it's just my internet.
Not coping with it, huh?
Try again.
Do an impression of whale song.
Oh, I had too many apps open, that's why.
That grey blue undertone again. Oh, that was not the colour I thought it was going to be. I might go back over that with a grey. That was a bit too blue. What we do next term, I don't know. We are taking requests, and what I'll probably do is plan out the whole year based on what people have said and what I think we will enjoy the most and what I'll enjoy the most, because I'm, in charge, so I can do that. But yeah, so one of the things I was thinking about doing was just moving around the world, and then we look at a different area of the world each term and focus on their wildlife in particular, so that we get a bit more variety, because then you could have sea animals, you could have flying animals, you could have land dwelling, but
Flying squirrels.
so Michael mentioned he really wants to do red pandas, so I was like, okay, well,
I really want to do a flying squirrel next.
So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. That's what I'm edging towards, that we travel around the world and study their wildlife in particular and learn about different cultures, maybe incorporate some of that sort of knowledge as well as the wildlife side of stuff. What about birds? Well, this what I'm not a huge fan of drawing birds, as you might already know if you've followed us a couple of times already, because it's very difficult to get the sort of symmetry in feathers and stuff. I'm impatient, as you can probably tell with the way I shade. I move on quite quickly. I get bored easily. So I wouldn't want to do a whole term of just birds. But if we were traveling around the world, then we would definitely include a bird each term. And that's good for me, because then it forces me out of my comfort zone with my drawing. So I could cope with that, I think.
There's a wow in here.
Yeah, Michael's got wow music playing now. I don't know if you can hear that. I've lost my black pen. There it is.
Can't hear it. They're just groans, really.
It just seems really prehistoric and...
Sounds like back into the dinosaur ages.
Yeah, it just transports you to another world, doesn't it, really? Very alien-like.
It sounds like beatboxes.
Really?
Yeah.
As in the way they use their mouths?
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby animals, British wildlife. We did British wildlife already. That was the very first thing we did. We did like a robin and a fox. I can't remember. A deer? Did we do a deer? Am I making it up? A rabbit or a hare? So we have done British already. But I am thinking, do we just incorporate some geography into our learning and travel the world? Where do we go first?
Where?
Maybe Australia, I think.
Australia?
Yeah, kangaroo. They've got some amazing creatures in Australia.
Hawaii.
We could do, well, we could, you know, we've got 6 terms next year.
Oh,
And then there's another year after that. So
called?
there's so much we could fit in.
Hollywood. I know that. I haven't been to there.
You're just thinking USA generally.
Yeah. Done.
You're finished?
Let me just shade something, then I'll end them. Done.
All right. Hang on a second. Michael wants to show his wow. There's his humpback wow with his little hair follicles. His eye looking at you.
Like,
Nice.
Angry.
I like it. I do like the way you did the background. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well done, Michael. Right, I need to get a wriggle on, don't I?
No, I can go to sleep.
Or you could look up more facts.
Oh.
Maybe we could do a bird, an insect, a mammal, an aquatic, etc. from each country or region. That's an idea, having like an actual format. And again, so insects are something that I avoid, but it would be a good thing for me to do. So that would push me out of my comfort zone. Right, I'm going to just go in a bit more with detail, and then I've got to get some water on this, so I'm going to run out of time.
Wow.
Nearly there. Okay, I think that's all right. That's not bad.
Wait, should I put what that wow is?
Humpback wow, yeah. Let's find out if they're endangered at all, or what are their main threats.
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably guess what they are, but let's find out for sure.
The max size is 60 feet. They can hold their breath for 60 minutes.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Six,
No, 60.
60 minutes, so they can stay underwater for an hour. Pretty cool. Pretty good skill to have.
They must remember to breathe though. They sleep without breathing about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because obviously they have to go to sleep.
Fun fact from Tom, all toothed whales have a melon in their foreheads. It's a mass of tissue which focuses the whale's calls, vital for communication and echolocation. Like bats, they use this echolocation to see. That's also very cool. Is that what the beluga whale has particularly prominently on their head? Like they've got this spongy forehead. And now I think I'm right in thinking that that is for echolocation. But do correct me if I'm wrong. Jill has suggested Australia. We could do koala, quokka, echidna, kangaroo, kiwi, cassowary. Yeah, I need to look up how to pronounce these things. Africa, meerkat, prairie dog, zebra. Oh, there's just so many things. There's so many options. What I'll do, because I have a particular source for where I get my images from, and that's what I tend to do, is find the best images that I think are going to help in terms of quality, being able to see the detail and stuff. So although a suggested list is good, it gives me a starting point. It might not be necessarily everything on your list because there might not be particularly great photos for me to work from. But yeah, thank you, because that saves us a bit of legwork trying to figure out what. Right, I'm adding the colour. I've got 20 minutes. Not adding the colour. I've already put the colour. What am I on about? Adding the water. to make it a painting now. And the other end of the tail fin. You found anything interesting, Michael?
No. Facts.
You gave up. Are you gaming now?
Huh?
Are you gaming?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just sleeping.
Yeah. Just taking a moment. Mine is green, black, and yellow. Awesome. I love how creative you guys all get. I think my brain's got too old. It's just not capable anymore. I think young people have the best imaginations.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You're very good at story writing.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
When was the last time I wrote a story?
I don't know. We need to get you back on it, really, don't we?
No.
Get you published.
Why?
Why not?
I already do a job.
Will I get done in time? What do you reckon?
Yeah, because you've nearly finished by now. You probably won't get done on time. You'll probably be like 10 minutes.
Do you reckon?
Go on.
I'm pretty good at finishing on time, though. But it was added extra with the background, wasn't it? That did take a bit of time. Longer than I was expecting, to be fair. Get that eye. We'll keep a highlight on the eye. I know you can't see it's really in the photo, but I'm going to add it in because I just think it makes it look more alive. Last roll of the year. Yes, thanks for the reminder, Joe. Last one is next week, so do join us. We're doing it's a really funky little crab.
Wait, and then we're done.
And then we're done for the year until September when we come back.
Oh, I don't know. Wait, September?
Yeah, start all over again.
Wait, this year?
Yeah. The last of the
So we have a
academic
month?
year. Just over a month off, yeah.
Yes, I don't have to wake up so early.
I'm not sure what to name it if they are pink. I don't know. What have you named your wow, Michael?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're not feeling it today, are you?
No.
You're very quiet today.
Tic Tac.
Tic Tac the wow.
I hadn't even signed it. I have no
Harry the humpback. Mine is. Yeah, I'm going to get this done in time.
Mine looks like a seal wow.
A seal wow, like a hybrid. Yeah. Bless me, sorry. That was there for ages, and then it caught me by surprise. And try and keep the sort of white lines in between. Don't want to lose them. There's a little hair follicle. I've already forgotten what their official name is, but they're hair follicles, that I can remember. Might be done early. We could have slowed down. So, we have got, as Joe said, one more draw along next Monday. We've also going live next Friday for our end of term awards. Not end of term, end of year awards. We are adding more awards this year. We're going bigger, basically, and recognising people's efforts and achievements on our courses. It's going to be a little celebration as we draw to a close for our academic year. It's gone really quickly, actually, hasn't it, this year? But do feel free to come along, even if you're not participating in courses. Come and see what other people have been getting up to and help celebrate, because we are a community, aren't we? We're a homemade community. I know in schools and colleges, people get these awards all the time, and sometimes it's nice to celebrate what homemade people have been doing. So do feel free to come and say hi, come see what prizes we're giving away, and just join us as we celebrate. Joe's going to be joining me live for that as well. Yeah, and just a reminder, if you are on our courses, parental nominations are open. So we accepting emails to joetechnologytriumphs@outlook.com if you want to nominate your learner in one of the 3 categories. So either resilience, achievement, or effort for anything. It might just be a general award for the whole year, what they've been doing on their courses with us for the year. It doesn't have to be this term or anything. Then feel free to let us know, and we will put them into the pot for the ones we consider for getting an award. And like I say, we're going as big as I can afford to on the prizes on this one, so it's going to be a good one. Mel, what we're doing next week, we're doing the crab. So it's like a reddish pinkish crab. Looks similar to the one in the Little Mermaid, actually. It might even be the same species. I'm not stunned. Michael just highlighted to me because I did not sign it. So I'm going to add my signature on there. But that is my humpback wow.
Right.
And just as with all of our others, if you want to upload your image to the picture that Joe will put on our page between 6 and 9 p.m. tonight. So it'll be going up. And then if you comment between 6 and 9 p.m. with your illustration, I will gladly give you some feedback on what I think you've done amazingly good at and what you could do to improve your illustration next time. Thank you, Mel. I'm quite pleased with that. I would, if I had more time, probably spend a bit more time smartening edges up and stuff. But actually, I quite like the sort of sense of movement that it gives by it being a little bit jaggedy and ragged. So I'm quite pleased with them. I think that's a good start to the week. Hope you all have an awesome rest of the week. If you're on one of our courses and you are stuck with anything, or you're interested in doing one of our mixed media courses, for example, if you've been doing our draw alongs, then get in touch, because our bookings are open, but they're closing at the end of this month, so we can have a bit of time off in summer with our families. So don't miss out. If you've got any questions, reach out to us, and hopefully we'll see you next week when we do our crab. See you later, guys.
Bye.